Providing fellowship and scholarship opportunities for aspiring global leaders in the field is the fourth area that we have used our technology and our knowledge of how to help advance the cause of peace. Now, we have formed successful partnerships with 7 universities around the world for the Rotary Peace Centers program, and I won't repeat some of the information that we had shared earlier because you've already heard that and you'll hear more about it from our dynamic Rotary Peace Fellow alumni. But right now we have more than 1,000 Rotary Peace Fellow alumni in over 100 countries around the world. And did you know that there are 62 Rotary Peace Fellows from India, and 58 of those are actual Indian citizens out in the world, some in the country of India, doing a fantastic job. And we'll hear more about that program again. Now, the 4 ways Rotary has traditionally approached peace and conflict resolution: through grassroots training, community peace building, diplomatic initiatives, and funding through our Rotary Peace Centers program. And this is only the beginning. We have so much more that we can do and that we're planning to do. And we must involve our strategies to address today's and tomorrow's challenges in this areas. This is necessary because the level of global conflict has created a mounting death toll and a refugee crisis of unsustainable proportions. You know this. We see and hear this every day on our news. In India, in the United States, in my living room in Los Angeles, California. The economic impact of violence on the global economy in 2015 was estimated to be $13.6 trillion, approximately 11 times the size of the global foreign direct investments. So it is time for new approaches to work in peace, solutions based on crafting the conditions that contribute to a peaceful society rather than simply mitigating the causes of war. This is a concept that we call positive peace, and it identifies the key characteristics and the key interventions that lead to more peaceful communities and countries. This concept of positive peace defines the work of one of our newest Rotary partners, the Institute for Economics and Peace, and their Global Peace Index. And if you're not familiar with either the Institute for Economics and Peace or the Global Peace Index, I invite you to go on the website and look at it because I think you'll be very impressed with their efforts. And as I say, they are now working in partnership with Rotary, the Rotary Foundation, on this whole target of peace, issuing peace. We're working together to explore the foundations of peace in places of in place of what the causes of war and conflict. And what this means is that we need to be quantified and we need to work to create these conditions in vulnerable areas before conflict occurs. We need to go out and understand areas of the world, many places in the world. They may already be in conflict, but there are many others where they are only maybe days, months, or years away from conflict if the underlying issues are not addressed. In short, the empirical data of the Global Peace Index tells us that there are 8 concrete pillars of peace. Now, these are the drivers of peaceful societies, which can be quantified in a number of ways. And these drivers include the equitable distribution of resources and a well-functioning government, and also low levels of corruption and high levels of human capital. Throughout Rotary's history, we have proven that you don't need to be a diplomat to make peace. But nor can you, nor can we do this alone. When you build a sustainable water and sanitation system, you are a peace builder. And when you mentor a young student struggling to graduate, you are a peace builder. When you launch any project to support education, health, or economic development in your community, you are building conditions of positive peace. Now think about the eradication of polio in India. What an accomplishment. It defies simple explanation. It's just very complex and involved, but what has been accomplished by that magnificent fact that in 2014, India was declared officially polio-free forever. How has that contributed to peace? The polio surveillance teams working with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and Rotarians have been so successful that the concept, and India is a beautiful example of how well that worked to accomplish the impossible dream, if you will, is now being replicated with health ministries and public health systems around the world as a model of what was done, with India being one of the primary models of look what can happen when we bring together a disparate group of people, organizations working together toward a common objective. Now, why can't this be done in the area of peace? This can be done for peace, and we call this positive peace. So it can be done. Now look at District 3131, a tremendously outstanding district, as we all know and have heard. How many lives, truly, how many lives have been touched by planting 27,000 trees? One of the projects from this district. What will be the ripple effect of training 7,000 teachers? Or what about providing the van that brings mother's milk to infants at Sassoon Hospital? You are saving lives every day. This list goes on, not just in District 3131, but around the world, thanks to Rotarians and friends of Rotaries and members of the family of Rotary working together. Positive peace, and every project that you have and that you are carrying out, that you envision going forward, that may come out of this symposium, is something that you can say, I'm so grateful to be a part of an organization such as Rotary International and working in partnership with the Rotary Foundation. And for the work and the achievements that you've had to date, give yourselves a round of applause, because I congratulate you very much for a great job. Another quick example, clean water and sanitation is essential to life. So when people, and especially children, have access to clean water and sanitation and hygiene, they can lead healthier and more successful lives. It's that simple. So Rotary and many other organizations have developed a project in the area of water, sanitation, and hygiene known by the acronym WASH, W-A-S-H. The goal is to provide sustainable WASH solutions to dramatically improve health, school attendance, basic education, and literacy levels. And in collaboration with USAID, Rotary has rolled out pilot programs here in India and in 4 other countries around the world that use WASH Sustainability Index as a tool. This tool evaluates the sustainability of the project based on 4 critical factors: institutional arrangements, management practices, financial conditions, and finally, technical operations and support. We believe that such a rigorous framework of analysis and assessment will dramatically increase the long-term value of these projects. Positive peace is a relatively new concept, and we are working to get the word out, and we're starting with this symposium to help spread the word. For example, last year held a pioneering positive peace workshop in Kampala, Uganda. The goal was to equip over 100 members of Rotaract. Rotaract, some of you are Rotaractors, but for those that are not familiar, is a Rotary group for those ages 18-30-year range with the tools that they need to build peace in their local communities. This was in Kampala, Uganda. Now, it will be exciting to see how this will impact their communities over the years to follow. Already the data is telling us that these sorts of local activities lead to positive peace and peaceful societies. So will this approach succeed in the long term? Well, that will depend upon 3 key elements: sustainability, keeping it going long after the instigators of this get it up and running and are maybe no longer driving it. Will it continue itself? Scalability. Is this an idea, something that can start small, but build and build and build and move throughout a nation as large as India to other countries around the world? And you, each of you, remember, Rotarians, check with your Rotary Peace Fellows. When you meet them, get acquainted with them, hear from them later in this symposium. They are waiting to be asked. They are ready to work and help, but Rotarians as well, any Rotarian will help you to say, how can I get involved and make a difference? Our Global Peace Ambassadors of all of our Rotary Peace Center alumni, for instance, again, are already out in the field, have been working there in many cases for a number of years. They have learned so much and can offer so much here, and that's why they've been invited. And with that said, remember, peacemaking is everyone's responsibility. Everyone's. Yours, mine, all of ours. Because today's global challenges require more creative, community-based initiatives. There's no question that we face enormous challenges. We see failed or failing states. They cannot possibly support a peaceful society. The threat of terrorism haunts us all. It's fracturing the already fragile bonds between desperate cultures. Rootless young people are falling sway to terrorist groups as we sit here that promise a life filled with purpose. They need a life, they want a life filled with purpose. We know what purpose can be and how to help make that happen. But we would be foolish to underestimate the impact of these challenges, but they are also opportunities. But we would be even more foolish to think that we can do nothing. Very foolish. But none of us can do it alone. We need each other, all of us, to bring our creative thinking to the table, to collaborate, to share our knowledge and combine our resources. And that's what this symposium is all about. Past RI President of Rotary International, Charles Keller, at the World Peace Symposium in 2007, said this to capture what I'm talking about. He said this, and I quote, "Finding the path to world peace and understanding is not a spectator sport. It is fully participatory. The cost of failure will be borne by every man, woman, and child on the planet in some way, directly or indirectly." You know, we have 2 amazing days ahead of us to listen, to learn, to exchange ideas. It is up to each one of us to determine what action we will take in our homes to advance the cause of peace, in our communities to advance the cause of peace, and in the world to advance the cause of peace. What can you do? No. Wrong question. What will you do when you leave this symposium to promote peace in your home, in your community, and around the world? Dhanyavante.